Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast, number 1764, Sleeping. So, I thought this was a good topic to cover. Usually, I do not have a problem going to sleep, except for last night. Well, actually, the last couple of weeks, I've been having issues with sleeping, and I got my routine that I do, and they say having a routine is good, and normally I can fall asleep quickly, but it's staying asleep that I have the issue. Falling asleep is not a problem. Well, actually, last night it was, but staying asleep can sometimes be an issue for me. But most of the nights, I might wake up once. I was up, I don't know how many times last night. So I thought, well, maybe this would be a good topic to tackle. Sleep. Why is it important? Okay, so benefits of sleeping. So I had to look up the benefits of sleeping, and they put there improved memory and cognitive function. It helps consolidate memories and improve problem-solving skills, learning, and overall cognitive function. Now, I will tell you the problem-solving thing. Absolutely. Like if I've got a problem that I'm working on, I put it in a way of, how can I solve this, whatever the issue is? And I usually think about it like late in the evening, because I know that when I go to sleep, my brain's going to be working on the subconscious level, and I'm not going to have to worry about it. And oftentimes I wake up with like, got it, and off I go. Better mood. So quality of sleep can enhance mood, reduce stress, and decrease the likelihood of experiencing mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Yeah, I could agree with that one. I feel now I normally get like 5 hours of sleep a night, and people go, oh, that's not enough. That's not enough. If I get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep, I'm bitchy. It's like if I oversleep, I get bitchy. If I don't get enough sleep, I'm bitchy. Today, actually not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Another benefit of sleeping is your physical health. Sleep supports the immune system, reduces inflammation, and can lower the chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. Don't know about that, but I came across some articles that supported that. So I was like, okay. And then I sort of went, yeah, we could do some more sleep. It increases productivity because good sleep enhances your concentration, productivity, and performance, making it easier to tackle daily tasks effectively. I did not get a very good night's sleep last night. So let me tell you what happened. I went to bed at my normal time. Probably I will tell you this. It was probably the 2.5 hour nap that I had at 4:30 yesterday that caused me to be late on here last night. And that probably had a big role in me not getting to sleep. Well, actually, no, because when I went to go to bed last night, I felt tired. I felt my usual tiredness. It was around the right time that I go to bed and felt tired. So I thought, well, okay, it was time to go to bed, and we'll finish watching. We're watching. What do we watch? What do we binge watching? Oh, Harry Wild. With Jane Seymour. She plays Harry Wild. And yeah, she gets into all sorts of mischief. I love Jane Seymour. She's awesome. So we finished watching that episode because I could feel myself starting to drift off. And I thought, okay, we'll watch this episode, then that's it, we're going to bed. So we went off to bed, did our normal routine, got into bed. And of course, when I get into bed, I get comfy and I lay there and I read. Sometimes it's a page, sometimes it's a chapter, but that's about it. And I could feel my eyes starting to close. I thought, well, I'm not going to get to the end of this book because I was on the last chapter of the book, and then there was the epilogue. And I was like, damn it, I really want to read the last of this chapter. No, Buddy was not going to allow that. Sorry. It's like, we've gone through our routine. It's time to sleep. So I put the Kindle down and rolled over, got comfy, did my deep breathing exercises that I do before I go to sleep, because that just helps relax the muscles, and started drifting off. But my legs decided it was not a good night to go. I all of a sudden had restless leg syndrome. Like, I just had to keep moving my legs. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I had to get up and go to the bathroom again. And I thought, well, I just went to the bathroom. I'm going to get up and get okay. And so then I got into bed and I thought, well, let me try. And usually I go to sleep on my left side. I'm a side sleeper. Usually go to sleep on my left side. So I thought, well, let me flip over onto my right side and see if that helps. Because sometimes if I have trouble sleeping on my left side, I'll flip over. And remember, I had my neck issue yesterday. That's gone. I woke up this morning, it was gone. And so I laid on my right side. I could feel a little bit of pain in the neck there. But I must have dozed or something, because the next thing I know, I'm awake and it's like, I've got to go to the bathroom again. This is ridiculous. and I hadn't had that much water to drink, especially in the evening, because I know around 8 o'clock, that's the cutoff time for me, is 8 o'clock in the evening. Not, it's sips of water, not drinks of water after 8 o'clock. I don't eat after 8 o'clock because it just revs up I just get energetic and stuff. It makes it harder to go to sleep. So I have learned this about myself. So, keep track of what you do before you go to bed and how it affects your sleep. And so I take sips of water after 8 o'clock. If I feel thirsty, I don't take drinks of water. And so I got up to go to the bathroom and the toilet blocked. I was like, you've got to be. It's 12:30 in the morning. My toilet was blocked. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I got the plunger out, plunged it all and everything else. And then I thought, oh, well, while I'm here, let's clean the toilet. Who on earth thinks at 12:30 in the morning when you are plunging your toilet, oh, since we're here, let's clean it. But I got the cleaner out and I cleaned my toilet, and it's in this little room in the bathroom. Cleaned the. I actually just did the toilet. I didn't do the floor or anything. Just did the toilet. And I'm like washing my hands afterwards, and I'm like, who the hell gets up at 12:30, then has to plunge their toilet, and then decides after plunging, oh, we need to clean it. I'm like, well, that's one less toilet I have to clean this weekend. At 12:30 this morning, so I was like probably like 1:45 before I got back to bed. So what happens? I thought, okay, laying on the lights on, well, let's go to the left side. So we went to and because by now I'm awake because I've been doing physical activity of cleaning. So I thought, huh. So I pick up my Kindle. Hang on, excuse me. I got itchy nose. So I pick up my Kindle. I thought, well, let's try the normal routine. So we've done the bathroom thing. We've said goodnight to Zephyr. We tucked her in, hopped into bed, got her nice and comfy, picked up the Kindle, got my chapter finished, the last chapter of the book finished, but I still had the epilogue to go. But I figured that's okay. I now know what happened at the end of the story, but we've got more coming. Because usually with this series that I'm reading through, the epilogue is an introduction to the following book, which I thought is a very good way, which I thought is a very cool trick for authors. So if you are writing a book series and you want to make sure that people come back for the next book, one, do not leave a cliffhanger. Well, you can, but in a different way. I hate cliffhangers, I tell you. But, the book finished nicely, and then there was the epilogue, and the epilogue introduces the next book. So the epilogue becomes sort of like the preface or the first chapter for the next book. And then when you start the next book, it picks up where the epilogue left off of the previous book. So it's a great way to get people introduced into the next book and what's going to happen, and what's coming up in that book, by letting them read basically a chapter of the book that's coming up. And then it tells you what the name of the book is and when it's going to be released and all that sort of stuff. So you sort of like, you've got, at the end of the book, you've got the first chapter of the following book, but it's written as an epilogue for this book. And they've told you what the name is and when it's going to be released. I thought that's a brilliant marketing, excellent marketing. But we're not talking marketing night, we're talking sleeping. So anyway, so I got to the end of the chapter and I figured, okay, we're starting to get tired again. Let's go to sleep. So I roll over, do my breathing, get all snuggly down and do my breathing things, relax and start drifting off. And then my legs were like, oh, all over. So I roll over onto the right. This one, I think it may have been about 2:30 or 3 o'clock before I finally got to sleep. And I tell you, that alarm clock at 5 o'clock, I wanted to throw it out the window. I was not a happy camper when that 5 a.m. alarm went off. I just wanted to sleep. But, we've got a lot of work we had to get done today. So we got up, got moving, showered, dressed, walked the dog, came home, had breakfast, sat down in here and got some work done. And surprisingly enough, despite the fact that I didn't have a very great night's sleep, I've actually gotten through the day pretty well and been very productive. I got work done for clients this morning. And just worked on some other stuff this afternoon. And so I've actually a very productive day, despite the fact I didn't get much sleep. But I was sitting in the other room there watching an episode of Harry Wild because I figured, okay, I've got about an hour. These episodes are about 47 minutes. So let's watch an episode of that and then we'll go do my life. Well, towards the end of that one, I started drifting off. I'm like, no, I can't go to sleep. I can't go to sleep. And like, wake up and move around a little bit. And that couch is a little too comfortable sometimes. Okay, so that was my sleep thing. And that's what prompted me to talk about sleep. So other things, let's see, whatever. Emotional regulation. They say adequate sleep helps in managing emotions and coping with stress, making it easier to handle social interactions and challenges. Okay. Weight management. It says sleep regulates hormones related to hunger and appetite, helping to maintain a healthy weight. I'm curious about that one because I get almost every night I get about the same amount of sleep. Athletic performance. Sleep aids in muscle recovery, absolutely. Coordination and overall physical performance, benefiting athletes and active individuals. Definitely. The muscles need time to relax so that they can heal from any strenuous stuff they've been through. Longevity. Consistent quality sleep is linked to a longer lifespan as it promotes overall health and well-being. Improved heart health. Regular sleep can lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke. And I know if I can actually feel when my blood pressure is not where it's supposed to be. I can feel when it's high, when it's higher than it normally is. And those times I lay on the bed on my left side. There's something about laying on the left side that helps calm the heart down and helps bring the blood pressure down, which I have been told about over the years. There was one time, a couple of times when I went and visited doctors and my BP would be high and they would have me lay down on the table on my left side. And I say, okay, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And they'll come back and they'll redo my blood pressure and it'll be back to normal again. I'm just like, oh, okay. And better skin health. Sleep promotes healthy skin by allowing for cell repair and regeneration, leading to a more youthful appearance. But when you think about it, there's a lot that your body is doing while you are sleeping. I'm just like, that's kind of really cool. That your body is actually undergoes a lot of change while you're sleeping, everything from releasing emotions and helping calm yourself down and releasing stress and repairing. And, it does a lot while you're sleeping, but you have to be asleep for it to do it. So then I was like, okay, so my routine is we go into the bedroom, I go get ready for bed, I go brush my teeth, do the bathroom routine, the teeth, go in the bathroom and all that sort of stuff. And then I come into the bedroom, by which stage Zeffie's up on her side of the bed. So I go over, she gets scratches and snuggles, and then I put a blanket over her. Yes, I do tuck her in. Unless it's a really hot night, then I don't, because I don't want her overheating. And she likes to bury her head under things, so I make sure that the blanket's over her head. Then I go and hop into bed, squish down and get comfy. And I'm laying on my back at this point. I pick up my Kindle and I read. And like I said, anywhere from a paragraph through to a chapter, depending on how awake I am. But at this point, my brain is starting to shut down. Everything's starting to shut down. The body's relaxing because it knows it's time for sleep. So we get into this. So we do this routine and we go to bed and we get up the same time every single day. We wake up the same time every day. We don't always get out of bed at the same time every day. Some days, like on weekends, I'm sort of like, I'm going to get up a little later this morning. So instead of getting up at 5, I'm going to get up at 6 or 6:30. So I'm not actually sleeping in. I'm just relaxing and having an easy start to the day. So some tips that can help you fall asleep one is establish a routine. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Yes, I get up at the same time every day. Well, weekends I wake up at the same time, but I might get up like an hour later. That's my lay-in. Create a sleep-inducing environment. Keep your bedroom dark. I love dark, quiet, and cool. Cool is a little bit of an issue here right now, unless I want astronomical power bills. So I do turn the temperature down in the evenings on the thermostat and then put it back. And I have a night temperature and a day temperature, and I adjust. When I go to bed, I adjust the thermostat. So sometimes, because it's getting a little warmer outside these days, like we're in, as far as Fahrenheit goes, we're in triple digits all this week. And I think it's like Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, we'll hit 107. I'm so like, is our high temperature our highest temperature so far this year. So yeah, not looking forward to those days. They also say consider using earplugs, an eye mask, or white noise machine. I can't sleep with earplugs in. Eye masks, I can do that on a plane, but not in bed. Being a side sleeper, the strap always ends up over my ears, and it ends up rubbing on my ears and annoying them. And white noise machine, no. Depending. If I'm in a hotel, I actually have a portable white noise machine. So if I'm in a hotel, I will put that near the door so I don't hear all the clacking and banging of people walking around. Does it work all the time? Not necessarily, but it does help. Number 3, limit screen time to avoid screens like TV, phone, computer at least an hour before bed, as blue light can interfere with your sleep. Thankfully, my Kindle is one of the, what they call it, Paperwhite. So, and the thing I like about the Paperwhite Kindle is that, yes, I like reading real books, and the Paperwhite, I have it at a color close to what you get in a paperback, that type of color. But the thing I find with the Kindle is that it's easier to read than actually a real book is at times. Yes. Watch your diet. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, and alcohol close to bedtime. Yep. I stop eating at 8 o'clock is my my deadline. If I get to 8 o'clock and I haven't had dinner, then I make a protein shake, and that's it. And that's all I will have. But that's basically it. I don't end up having cooking a meal or anything else. Stay active. Regular physical activity can help you fall asleep faster and you enjoy deeper sleep, but try to exercise earlier in the day. I actually found my exercise mat when I was clearing out my storage in San Diego, so I brought that back. I just have to set up my little exercise area. So I'm looking forward to getting that set up. Relaxation techniques. Try deep breathing exercises, meditation, gentle yoga before bed to help you relax the mind and body. So here's my breathing exercise before we go to bed. So I get comfortable in my sleeping position. I get comfortable, and then it's take a deep breath in through the nose. If you remember when Nicole was on one time, she had us doing the 7-11, and it was deep breath in for 7, and then you go 8, 9, 10, and you push it out. And as you push it out, you go, oh, and you can actually feel your body. I actually feel my body sinking into the mattress. It's really, really cool. It's like the tension go, and you do that 3 times. And by the time I get to the 3rd time, I'm sort of like, oh, I'm ready to go to sleep now. So that's my breathing techniques. And, meditation, gentle yoga before bed also helps too. And another one that Nicole taught us about was laying on your back with your feet up the wall and just laying like that and doing some breathing exercises. And you do it for I think she said 10 to 15 minutes, about 3 to 4 times a week. Some people will do it every day. You don't need to do it every day, but just 3 or 4 times a week. And that can help relax the body and release a lot of stress and tension as well. Number 7, limit naps. If you need to nap, try to keep it short, like 20 to 30 minutes and earlier in the day. Yeah, I tend to go to nap at 4:30 in the afternoon. But if I am good, I actually put on a thing. It's a HemiSync recording. It's called Catnapper. And you can find it on Amazon. It's called Catnapper. It's one word, Catnapper. And Catnapper is this really cool, self-hypnotic thing. And I use this a lot when I travel. So when I am flying longer than 3 hours, so we're doing, 5+ hour flights, an hour before landing, I always have my noise cancelling headphones on anyway, but I have my noise cancelling headphones on. I put my phone onto the Catnapper, and it's a 30-minute catnap. Basically what it is, you put you to sleep, but you're still aware of what's going. You're at that consciousness level where if anything happens, you can snap out of it right away. But it works on the different brainwaves, and it has to be equal distance from the ears, which is why headphones are really, really good with this. And you drift off to sleep with this thing, and then it wakes you up 30 minutes later, and you feel very refreshed and energetic and time to go. So when I have these long haul flights down to New Zealand, going down to New Zealand, I don't have a problem sleeping on the plane too much. But I will do the Catnapper an hour before we land. So basically, they bring us breakfast. They take breakfast away. I catnap for 30 minutes because by the time they finish picking up from breakfast, we've got about an hour before we land. And they have 30 minutes between, if I'm remembering this correctly, they have 30 minutes from when they finish picking up breakfast to when they have to start all of the pre-landing stuff. And so that's when I take that 30-minute catnap, because I don't want to be doing it in the last 30 minutes of flight because there's all the announcements going on all the time. And, we need you to do this. We want you to do this. We're coming through. We're picking up trash. We make sure your tray tables are up and your seats up in the upright position and your seatbelts buckled and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, you've got the actual process of landing, doing the circling and dropping in altitude and all that sort of stuff. So about an hour before we land is when I put the Catnapper on and I'm ready to go. So I get off that plane at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning in Auckland, and then I've got to get over go through the international stuff pretty quickly. Then I have to go over to domestic to catch my flight down to Wellington, where I get to see my parents. So yeah, or wherever I'm picking, or they may be in Auckland picking me up. I don't know, but I'm refreshed. I'm ready to go, and I'm just in desperate need of a shower. Yeah, it amazes my parents that that's how I operate, and then I go to bed at my normal time, and I'm back into my routine at that point. So it helps. Have comfortable bedding. Ensure your mattresses and pillows are comfortable and supportive. And also to make sure that with your comfortable bedding, make sure you have bedding on there that is breathable. That helps you release that body heat. I am a very warm-blooded. My normal body temperature is on the high side of normal, which is why herbs like ginkgo and ginseng, which are energetic herbs, for somebody who is warm-blooded like me, they put us to sleep because they're warming herbs in a warm body. Sleep. So I like to have bedding that is breathable. So I love bamboo sheets because they're very breathable. This, even though I'm comfortable and I'm warm enough in the bed, I still like a cool environment. My head's always out. I can be in, and I have been in this, in the mountains, in my sleeping bag, snuggled up, burrowed into it, but my head is still out there, because as long as if my head, hands, and feet are covered, I will overheat. But if my head is still out and my hands and feet are covered and I'm snuggled down in the sleeping bag, I will still sleep very, very well. Thank you. But yeah, you want breathable bedding on the bed as well. Limit fluid. So reduce fluid intake in the evening to minimize trips to the bathroom during the night. That's when I go to having sips of water rather than drinks of water after 8 o'clock. Write it down. If your mind, and this is what I should have done, I didn't even think about this last night. If your mind is racing with thoughts, jot them down in a journal to clear your mind. Now, I keep pen and paper next to the bed. Do you think that even crossed my mind of maybe I should journal some stuff? Get it out of my head and on pen and paper so that I can then get some sleep. No, it didn't cross my mind. And then you've got aromatherapy using, and you have an oil diffuser in your room, use scents like lavender or chamomile. If you're with, and doTERRA has this really beautiful Serenity, which is nice. They also have a Serenity mist that you can spray onto the pillowcase. You get that nice aroma thing. But yeah, I love aromatherapy and using my oils and have the diffusers. I've got a plug-in one over there. It just went. I've got a plug-in one out in the other room. I've got plug-in, and the plug-in, I mean by plug-in, actual wall plug-ins that just plug into the outlet, and they've got the bottle of oil on the top and they just spritz it out, which it just did. That one's got sage in it, which is good for creativity and keeping you awake and things like that. And then the other one I've got out there is something forest. Can't remember, but it's a really good woodsy smell. I had one of these pest control guys come to the door the other day, and of course when you open the door, the forest meets them at the door. Meets them at the door, because I can smell the forest stuff that I've got out there, and I think it's called Northern Forest. I'm trying to remember which one I've got out there. It's got Midnight Forest. But anyway, so he was asking me about, pests. Oh, do you have any problems with mice? I go, no. I says peppermint oil takes care of that. He goes, well, what about ants? He says, I know you've got a lot of ants in the garden. I says, yeah, and that's where they stay. I said, they don't come inside the house. He's like, they don't? I go, no. I said, cinnamon takes care of that. He's like, really? I says, yeah. I says, rodents like mice and rats don't like peppermint. Ants don't like peppermint, and they don't like cinnamon. I found cinnamon more effective with ants than peppermint is, but I've got the peppermint there as well. And he was just sort of like, huh? And I said, and I use essential oils. I diffuse essential oils all over the house. And I said, so each room has a different scent in it. And all of them have ones that certain pests do not like. And he's like, well, I can smell that. He says, I can smell the aroma coming out. And he says, it smells really good. And I says, yeah. I said, that's why I have them, because it helps. And based on the room that I'm in, as to what oils I have going based on the mood I want to set for that. So the bedroom would have, and he was amazed at, and he goes, well, what about scorpions? And I go, I've been in Arizona now since September 2021. Actually, October 1st, 2021. I said I've been in Arizona since then. I've never seen a scorpion. or a snake. He's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, I try to keep the weeds under control. I'm not very good at doing that, but I have really good, I'm not the world's greatest gardener. And I said, and my dog, and he goes, what about flies? I said, a lot of people complain about flies. I says, I'd had one fly buzzing around me that day. And I said, I had it buzzing around me the day before. And I said, but I haven't seen it since. He's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, the flies have no reason to come here because there's nothing for them. I said, I keep a clean kitchen. I make sure there's no foodstuffs left out. I clean up after myself. I clean up as I cook. And I said, my dog refuses to go to the bathroom in the yard. And I said, there's rare occasions when she will, like in the middle of the night when she has no choice because I'm not putting a leash on her and taking her for a walk around the neighborhood in the middle of the night when there's coyotes out. I said, so she will go in the backyard then. And if it's solids, it gets picked up very quickly. And if it's the liquid stuff, it gets sprayed down the next morning with some water. Put the hose out there and spray it down. He's like, really? I said, yes, it keeps the flies away. And I said, I know for a fact that when I go into the park down there and go walking with my dog, we're now at that stage that as soon as she poops, the flies are there. Like she poops, I've already got the bag on my hand to scoop up, and I know people are going to go, to scoop up her poop. And I said, the flies are already beating me to her poop. And he's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, but they don't follow us home because we never bring the poop bags home, the full poop bags home with us because they've got the collector, they've got the dog poop bins around. They've got bags and bins all through the park. So there's absolutely no reason why people cannot pick up their dog poop and put it in the bins that are provided. I mean, they're providing bags and bins, and people, I'm going to get a whole tangent on this, but the one that really pisses me off is the ones where somebody's dog poops by the bin. There's bags in that bin. The dog just pooped on the ground, and you can't be bothered picking a bag up and picking up your dog's poop and putting it in the bin. You didn't even have to take a step anywhere. Like, seriously. So yeah. And he's sort of like, oh. I said, yeah. I said, if you've got dogs, I said, you got to clean up really quick after them so to keep the flies away. And I said, so the flies have nothing here to attract them. I said, I do get those little tiny little buzzy gnat things around. I said, but those don't last long. I said, they buzz me, they get slapped. He just looked at this guy. He could not figure out what to do with me. He's here to sell me biscuit. He's going through his different pills. No. He says, seriously? And what about spiders? He says, no, I haven't seen one. Not in my house anyway. So I said, you just keep a clean house. This is dust regularly, wash the floors regularly on the tile, vacuum regularly, and keep your kitchen clean. And I said, and keep your pantry clean as well. And he's sort of like, oh. And I said, and then you use essential oils in the house. And some pests don't like the smell of the oils or the feel of them or whatever. He's like, oh, okay then. So the poor guy had no clue what to do. So aromatherapy, great thing to use. Actually, I could have spritzed some of that on my thing. What I actually did is I went and I got one of my sleep patches. And I don't usually wear them to sleep because but I had the sleep patch. I think it was like around, I don't know, it was probably 2:30, 3 o'clock. I finally thought, oh, yeah, I've got the sleep patches. Let me go put one of those on and see how that works. Yeah. But anyway, so that's our episode on sleep. What are your thoughts on sleep? What are some of the tips and tricks that you have that help get you to sleep in the evenings? Everybody has a routine. I'm always curious what other people's routines are as well. So let us know in the comments what your tips and tricks are for getting to sleep, staying asleep, and we'll compare some notes. So with that, we're out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. Can you believe that tomorrow is the last day of May? We are almost halfway through the year. I'm like, I have no idea what happened this year. But the cool part of the next month is I've got birthdays to celebrate. I get to go to San Diego for my youngest grandson's first birthday. And they've got a rodeo theme, so I get to take my Stetson with me. So that'll be fun. I got to go find it. I don't go find it. I know exactly where it is. I just got to dust it off. I haven't worn it for a while. It gets a little hot out here. You can't really go out in 103-degree heat with a felt Stetson on. I actually have a crushable Stetson. And it's one that can be crushed up. Because I said to them, I live in an RV. When I bought the Stetson, I said, I live in an RV, so it needs to be able to travel very well and not take up too much space. And so they showed me the crushable Stetsons, and it holds its shape pretty well. But it's made of felt, so yeah, and it's black. So walking around in 100 and whatever degree heat here in Arizona with the felt Stetson on, yeah, no. So I'm excited that I get to wear my Stetson when we go out to San Diego in June for a weekend. So that's going to be amazing. Anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be Friday tomorrow. Woohoo! Hey, con